Good afternoon, Chairwoman Calhoun and members of this esteemed committee. My name is Ronnie Maxwell. I just recently became a member of the board of the Children's Trust of South Carolina. Got my letter in the mail from the governor yesterday, so that's official. And I practiced law and have for 49 years here in Aiken. My involvement with adverse childhood experiences has primarily been through Children's Place, and their leader, our executive director for Children's Place, will speak later. But in that setting, I saw where children and families were receiving treatment for child abuse. Children's Trust is an altogether different animal. I'm here to speak to you today about the critical need for a state-level investment in the Children's Trust Fund of South Carolina. The fund was created by the General Assembly about 40 years ago to find and fund solutions to prevent child abuse as opposed to treat child abuse and neglect. But in 40 years, there has not been a major directed investment from the state in the trust fund. Why do we need to fund the trust? Because it's time we end child abuse and neglect in our state through prevention efforts. For far too long, we have watched South Carolina rank poorly in outcomes for child and family well-being. Just this year, South Carolina ranked 38th in child well-being, a rank we've never risen above. Nearly 40% of our children live in single-family homes. 20% of them are living in poverty. There were more than 13,000 cases of child neglect or abuse reported last year in South Carolina. Sometimes we see the headlines in the news of child abuse accused persons, but so many thousands we never hear about, or many of you never hear about and never know about. The programs that Children's Trust support work. They prevent child abuse and neglect. They strengthen the most important unit of society, the family, and create opportunities for children to thrive. We have the data to prove that. We know what works. What we need is the funding to do it. I'm asking for you to step up with me and dedicate a legacy gift to the Children's Trust Fund so that we can do the work necessary to prevent and end child abuse and neglect in South Carolina and create a future for our children and families that we can all be proud of. I would also like to echo your having mentioned that our Senator Tom Young, my senator, and our Representative Melissa Oremus are here, and they've been very supportive locally of Children's Place and certainly of children's issues, and we're proud of them and our other legislative delegation. But thank you very much.
Mr. Maxwell, will you take some questions, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Senator Rickenbach.
An opportunity to ask an attorney questions here. On the other side of the table here.
I'm not sworn.
Good deal. I watched a lot of Matlock growing up, so it can be dangerous. Thank you for serving on the Children's Trust and for being willing to. It was a statistic you mentioned that 40% of the children are in single-family homes and 20% of them are in poverty?
That's correct.
Okay. Is there one or two top priorities that Children's Trust would do to help reverse that course of all 4 out of 10 children being born or raised in a single family home?
You know, they certainly, I think sometimes when I dealt so much with Children's Place and the same with Children's Trust, that so much of the focus is on the child. But we focus also on the family and on the parenting, and their parenting programs that they advocate and install throughout the state that would help bring families and keep families together even through abusive situations, and maybe even bring them back together.
Okay. And second question, the legacy gift you referenced, was that a one-time gift you're requesting, or is it a reoccurring fund?
We'd love reoccurring.
Okay. Right answer, I guess. Okay.
One time would be good. Okay. They've been, it was established 40 years ago, and thus far there's we get some indirect monies from the state. I'm not saying that we do not, but certainly we believe direct funding for such a terribly important cause with 13,000 cases of child abuse just last year would be well served. It would well serve our state and our communities.